Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video we are going to be doing a review and a wear test on two brand new products that just launched. Today we're going to be talking about the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation with hyaluronic acid right here. I don't know if you guys knew, but the original one that they came out with, I want to say last year, is the matte version, and then they recently just came out with this one right here, which is a hydrating version. And then they also came out with a concealer, same thing. This is the Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer with hyaluronic acid and acai. I am here today to share with you guys my thoughts on these two products. I'll let you guys know if they work out for my combination skin, how they last throughout the day, the finish, the coverage, all of the tea. And then I also do have kind of like a dupe, I want to say. I mean, they're both pretty much on the same price range. This foundation does remind me of another one that's at the drugstore, pretty much the same ingredients, so I'm going to share that with you guys throughout the video. Before we get started into the video, don't forget to follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook, because when I'm not here I'm most likely over there. And then I'm also uploading all of my YouTube videos on Facebook, so go follow me there so you guys can share the videos on Facebook, and that way we can grow our family even bigger. Anyways guys, if you like my reviews and wear tests, don't forget to thumbs it up. And with that being said, if you want to know my thoughts on these two products, if you want to know the dupe that I have for the foundation, if you want to know how they wear throughout the day and what I think about them, then let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so we're just going to get started. I have two products right here. So we have the concealer and then we have the foundation. So this is what the foundation looks like, and then this is what the matte version looks like. So they're pretty much identical. The only thing is that this has a doe foot applicator, and then the one that we're going to be trying out today, which is the hydrating version, does come with a pump, which I really appreciate. And then in today's video we're also going to be trying out their new concealer. Now they do have a new setting powder, which I do not have because it was not on sale when I ordered these two products. It still isn't on sale, so I'm gonna have to wait until they release that powder. But let me know if you guys want to see a review on that powder as well. But today I am excited to do a wear test on these two, see how they work with my combination skin. So as far as the foundation, it is new and it's exclusive to Ulta right now. They actually do not have it at makeuprevolution.com. I have no idea why. Shouldn't they have it if it's like their brand? It does retail for $12. I got mine in the shade F7. I'm gonna go ahead and insert swatches of both matte version, which I have it in shade F8.5, and then F7. But this says medium skin tones with neutral undertones. Basically, this is the Conceal and Hydrate, has been specially formulated to suit every skin type and every skin tone. It is particularly beneficial for dry skin. This also has hyaluronic acid, which offers all day long radiance and glow without settling into the fine lines or clinging to dry patches. It also offers medium to full coverage. So those are the claims for the foundation. I am excited to try it out. I only have moisturizer on my skin. I don't know if I should prime. Probably not, because I don't want to alter the foundation, but normally I would wear a primer. I'm tempted to go in with the Jelly Pop on half of my face. Should we do that? I'm going to do that. So I'm going to apply some of the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. This is a gripping primer. I kind of want to see how well it works with the primer, and I'm only going to do it on half of my face. That way we'll kind of test out if it works out with my combination skin, and if it holds up better, or what the finish is going to look like, or you know, all of that jazz. And then on this side of my face, on my right side, I'm not going to apply any primer or anything like that. I just have moisturizer. For moisturizer, I'm pretty sure it's no surprise, e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this one right here. So this is the shade F7, and it is going to oxidize. I did try it out yesterday, and then I'm going to go ahead, I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but it is starting to oxidize a bit. And then I'm going to swatch shade F8.5 in the matte version, just so you guys can kind of compare the two. Even though the hydrating version is a shade lighter, or a shade and a half lighter, it is darker than shade F8.5. So I feel like that's something to keep in mind. I feel like their shade range is good. I just feel like the way that they're describing the shades on their on the website and the numbers are a little bit off. So pretty sure you guys can tell the difference. So on my right side, I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to take one full pump, just like that. And then we're going to begin by buffing this all over my right side. I'm not too obsessed with the undertone just because I do like my undertones to be a little bit more on the warmer side, but this one is leaning more towards like a neutral slash pink undertone. It's really luminous, that I will say. It's more of like a dewier foundation, which it obviously says hydrating, so like I was able to sheer out that one full pump, but I still don't think I have full coverage. I feel like I have high medium coverage, which I am not mad about. I actually really like the coverage that it's giving me, because as you guys can tell the difference, you guys can still see my rosacea right here, my pore area. Alright guys, so this is what half of my face is looking like with one full pump with the brush. Usually the brush 99% of the time gives you a little bit more coverage, but I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one with the sponge, just because the foundation is not sinking into my skin. I almost just feel it sitting on top of my skin. So now we're gonna go into the primed side. Taking my damp beauty blender, I'm gonna take again one full pump, just like that, and then let's go ahead and see if the primer does anything to the foundation or if I get better coverage. So one thing I am noticing is that I'm obviously getting way less coverage on this side with the sponge, which is normal. I'm getting a much more like sheer coverage, but I do like the finish on this side better. So I feel like with this foundation, I feel like I would go in with the brush and then I'm gonna go in and smooth everything out with the sponge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another pump to kind of even everything out. And I'm going to go ahead and blend this on my entire face, and then I'm going to take the sponge to kind of smooth everything out. I'm going to take the sponge and I'm going to go ahead and further blend everything out, smooth everything out as well. I also feel like with the sponge you do get a little bit more hydration. It does look more like skin, and you're able to see moisture coming from, you know, your skin. And I feel like it's because the sponge obviously gives you a much more like seamless finish, whereas with the brush I was starting to see it a little bit more on the radiant side. Alright guys, so there is the foundation. I haven't really let it sink into my skin. I'm obviously going to leave it there for a couple of minutes, but this is how everything is looking like. It does look very luminous, it does look dewy, it looks very hydrating, it looks like my skin is healthy almost. I like something a little bit more matte though, but we're still going to start with powder. Maybe it transforms, who knows. We're going to move on to the concealer. So the concealer is the same thing. It says Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid and Acai, and it is a medium to full coverage. So this is what it looks like. It almost looks exactly like foundation. So this concealer does retail for $10. I did get mine in the shade C6, which is light medium skin tones with neutral undertones. So we're still sticking with the neutral vibe. It says it has a lightweight finish and it has a boost of moisture, which offers all-day hydration thanks to an infusion of hyaluronic acid. It is a sheer satin finish that will drench your skin in moisture. Whoa, that sounds scary for me. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a shake and we're gonna highlight. So it's not such a highlighting shade because like I said, it does oxidize. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and apply it underneath of my eyes, on my forehead, on the tip of my nose, on my chin. Those are normally the areas where I like to highlight. Now to blend everything out, first I'm going to go in with a Morphe G38 brush. What I like to do is I like to concentrate the brush on this area right here, which is where I have large and intense pores. If you follow my channel, you guys know that I always do this. This is just going to ensure the longevity of the concealer right here in this area. I'm going to begin by blending it out right here. Once I press the product into my pore area, now I'm going to take the beauty blender and I'm going to go ahead and blend everything out. So far, I really like the consistency of the concealer. It's definitely a more satin finish. It's not as dewy as the foundation. It also did brighten a tad bit. Something that I will say is that this is not a full coverage concealer. So if you're more into like the full coverage life, then this is not it, because I did apply a good amount and it still did not give me full coverage. I'm going to apply just a tad bit more underneath of my eyes to kind of see how well it builds and if I could get a little bit more coverage. Alright guys, so this is what the foundation and the concealer are looking like, but I want to say it's not like a super buildable formula, okay, because it was starting to look like a bit cakey, and that's kind of weird because it's not a full coverage concealer. So I don't know, I think this one I would not layer it, like I wouldn't try to build it. So far this is what we're looking like. It looks pretty much like skin but better. Like obviously my skin does not look like this, but it does look very skin-like, very natural, but it also looks very, very, very dewy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup, come back, give you guys a check-in, let you guys know how everything looks like once I set it with the powder. Then I'm gonna go about my day, and then I'll come back and give you guys like my final thoughts. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys, so I am back. I went ahead and finished the rest of my face makeup. Now I went ahead and set it with my Wet n Wild powder like I told you guys. The reason is because I am combination skin, so I did went ahead and baked around my nose area and my smile lines right here, just because that's normally what I would do with a foundation this hydrating. Now something that I will say is that I do prefer the side with the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I'm not really able to see my pores on this side, and it just looks so smooth overall. I have a feeling that it's definitely going to last longer on this side, because on this side with no primer, it's already caking up around my nose right here, and that's normal. I mean, I don't mind it because I didn't really use like any primer or anything like that, and I can just smooth it out by pressing it into my skin. This is definitely a foundation and a concealer that I do not recommend if you're oily skin, because you're probably most likely not gonna like it. Something I will mention before the final check-in is that this foundation right here reminds me so much of the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wearing Illuminating Foundation. They both have very similar ingredients. I want to say the difference between the two as far as the ingredients is that the Makeup Revolution one does have castor oil, and this one I didn't read any castor oil, but other than that, all of the ingredients are pretty much identical. I mean, I'm not a chemist to sit here and tell you they're the exact same thing, but I am curious to compare them side by side. So if you guys want to see a video of me doing a wear test on both of these half and half on my face to kind of see which one lasts longer or whatever, and really the difference if there is any, then let me know in the comment section and I'll definitely do a comparison video. So take a close look at my skin. This is how everything is looking like. Obviously on camera I probably look a bit more matte because of the powder, but I'm pretty sure within a couple of hours I'm gonna be an oily mess. I mean, I don't know, that's what I'm thinking, you know, but so far so good. I'm loving it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you guys go, and I will catch you guys at the end of the day for the final check-in. Okay guys, so I am back. I actually just got back from the Morphe store. I picked up this setting spray that Jeffree Star came out with Morphe. So I am going to be doing a video comparing two, letting you guys know if they are any different or not, just because Jeffree Star did say that he did added some like skincare benefits and some oils to this one, so I'm actually curious to see if there's a difference. We're gonna get back to the foundation and the concealer. So I've been wearing this on my skin for 6 hours already, a little over 6. Yep, a little over 6. And let's just say that I was out and about. It's like 105 today here in Vegas, so yeah. Looking at my skin up close, I'm gonna be very honest with you guys, I don't like it. You guys saw at the beginning when I first applied it, I was loving it. I loved how everything looked. Right now, everything just looks so freaking oily. Especially, I feel like on this side where I did not use a primer, it just looks more oily. My lines right here are hella accentuated, and then around my nose, it like completely separated. Keep in mind, I have no primer on this side, and then on this side where I do have the primer, it looks a bit more put together, but I still see oil peeking through. My smile lines are not as visible than the side where I do not have a primer. So I really do think that the Jelly Pop Dew Primer is making the foundation look a little bit more put together on this side. What I can do to minimize the shine and, you know, obviously mattify my skin a bit more is take some powder. But even then, I feel like the cakiness around my nose and the separation and the lines, it's just not going to go away. I'm going to take some powder to kind of mattify right here. Went ahead and powdered this side of my face, just a little bit of translucent powder. And I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but it did mattify this side, and then this side is a bit more dewier. So go ahead and mattify this area right here. Keep in mind that I did went ahead and bake my nose, so it kind of sucks that it didn't last as long as I was anticipating it to. Alright guys, so now that I've powdered my face, obviously on my chin it looks pretty heavy. It just looks cakey right there, and I feel like it's because of the powder. I usually never powder my face like after I initially powder it, so I feel like that's why it just looks kind of off. But I feel like I was definitely able to fix around my nose area, so now it looks a little bit more mattified. I feel like I can go another like 2-3 hours with this foundation, but I'm not going to. I'm actually going to end the video here just because it's been on for 6 hours and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm a complete mess. Overall, I really like them. I'm obviously going to continue to use them, maybe try mixing this with a super mattifying foundation. I'm curious to see how that'll work. Let me know if you guys want to see the video comparing the LA Girl one versus this one, just because the ingredients are pretty much the same. They're actually identical. I'm curious to see which one lasts longer. As far as the concealer, I feel like it did have a nice satin kind of finish. I didn't think it was like completely dewy, so I'm actually excited to continue to use this here on my channel. But as far as the foundation, I feel like the foundation was a big no-no. Also keep in mind that the concealer is not a full coverage concealer, so if you are looking for a full coverage concealer, this is not for you. Yeah guys, that was my review on the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation and Concealer. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you've already tried it. Let me know what you think. Let us know if you're going to pick it up as well. Know what other videos you guys want to see from me. Don't forget to subscribe in the link down below if you want to see the tutorials that I have coming up for you guys, and as well as the review on this setting spray. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that out. Don't forget that I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 AM Pacific Standard Time. Also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. The links are in the description box below. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and wear test, and I will catch you guys very soon in Friday's video. Bye guys.